50 episodes in, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling like Authbition is just way more than a podcast. Honestly, it's like I I I was like, oh my god, I'm totally falling down on the job of the podcast, and I was like, this is if this isn't Authbition, what the fuck? Like if I'm on an 11-week trip in an Airstream,
Mhm.
if this isn't Authbition, I don't know what is. Well, I can't hear you.
So this feels a little bit like eavesdropping.
It is. This is this. Can you hear
The back,
the
the backing track.
the backing track that my buddy
Yeah,
Jeff made me?
it's cool.
I'm just like practicing this can you
Yeah,
hear it? I don't know if you can hear what I'm
I
playing.
like it. I like it a lot. I'd give it a little bit of like almost like a beat and a half between them.
Yeah, let's see if I can get it from the beginning.
Yeah, cool.
Like that.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta stop
Love
it.
it. That's cool. Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I think that, I mean, just as like for fun, it's good, but like as the intro, that would be awesome.
Well, maybe I could just take it. I'm recording already, so I can just add that to the intro for show 50. If this is one of the things that I've got. There's two things that I'd like to go over today.
Okay.
One is I haven't opened this.
Oh, nice. It got there. Cool. Nice.
I wanted to open it
I checked the
here.
tracking and I was like, it's not clear if it arrived or not. So
It is here, and Authbition. I think it's the maybe the first piece of mail that has come to the house
nice.
that says Authbition on it. I just put my if this is show 50. I just added my home address to the. That's the other
We
thing.
can blur that out. That can be blurred out.
I haven't recorded show 50 yet, uh, and I know you didn't like prepare to be on TV today.
Okay. Pretty much come as you are. So,
um, but I'm wondering if you want to just like make this show 50 also.
okay.
Uh, I mean, we got home from this 11-week trip yesterday, and I'm like, haven't yet
Yeah, welcome
processed.
back.
Thank you. Yeah, just haven't processed it yet, and I don't think that the show will process it, but it just seems like crazy not to capture this moment, um, and to also admit that I didn't do as much. I did auspicious living, but I didn't record
Hmm.
much authbition while on this thing, so it's maybe worth digging into that topic.
The lack or the fullness, or maybe both.
Yeah, maybe it's a whole mind game. Maybe we can come up with. Maybe we can talk about the. Here's how we'll do the show, just like a show.
All right.
We'll talk and then, but let's reverse the tables. Come up with a whole mind game tension and
Yeah.
lead the session. How about that?
All right. Game. Let's try it. No
Let's,
promises.
yeah, let's see what happens. And the cool thing is maybe we can I can take my notes on whatever's in here. I'm gonna open this right now. It is funny that this came in a box on my porch, and I had a moment. I had a moment. Um, so Vermont, we spent a month in Vermont, and the thing about Vermont is there's like very few big box stores. I didn't like maybe they have some
Really?
laws or whatever. They just don't have much big box in Vermont. And I didn't realize how little traffic. Like we never got
Mm.
stuck behind trucks. We weren't like on a highway with trucks, and um, we got out of Vermont and we're driving down to Maryland, I think, when it really hit me, and we were just like surrounded by trucks, and I was like,
Mm.
that's it. I was like, I'm fucking done with big box. I'm done. I'm canceling Amazon, canceling everything. I like got angry. I lost my temper.
Happens. The traffic can do that for you. That Maryland, DC area is the worst.
Dude,
How did it come out? So I haven't seen them physically.
that's yeah. I don't know how
Simple.
good. I don't know how good it's coming out. Like how good you
How's
can
the
see.
how's the texture?
Yeah, they
That's one thing I
feel.
was worried about because I couldn't tell if it was going to be like kind of waxy like a postcard.
It's no, it's not. It's more papery. There's maybe a slight waxiness to it, but not like glossy like a not glossy like a postcard. And I like the weight of that. Like I feel like I can write over the top of that without
Yeah.
issue.
Nice.
The lines are super subtle. Like I could ignore them and just like write as big text as I want to. I feel
Hmm.
like. Um,
But they're there if you need structure.
yeah, but they're there if I need structure. Exactly. I'm gonna write a ampersand at the top of this. Boom. My first piece of writing.
Nice. Nice.
These are so cool.
I heard this thing, I can be a bit precious with stationery. So
Yeah.
heard this thing when you first get like a notebook or something, just mess it up immediately. Like write something in it immediately.
Hmm.
So I always go to like one of the back pages and just like write myself a note with the date of like, the inaugural date. Um,
QR code works.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, that one's static, created in InDesign, so that shouldn't be an issue. And it's the one I've been using for everything. So
I love that. I love that. Like mess it up. Um. Yeah.
before you do anything else,
Yeah.
mess it up on day one.
Weirdly enough, I feel like that way about like guitars, bikes, cars.
Hmm.
You get like
Hmm.
the brand new car with the brand new smell, and it's like, let's go on a road trip and eat in it. You'll-
I told you I got a new bike. It's like it's my baby. Nothing touches it. It's like sitting all alone in the corner of the house. Every time I go out, I wipe it down on the way in and clean it. Like I'm not ready. I'm not there yet. But it would be
yeah,
better to mess it up.
yeah, just like drop it one time, be like, damn, messed
I
up.
did scratch it already, and I was like, damn. and it was just, yeah, that happens.
It's
Yeah, I used to do the drive from Virginia up to Philadelphia all the time.
uh-huh.
And going through that like Maryland, DC area, yeah, Baltimore, like hitting all the city traffic like the whole way up 95. It's just really, really, really annoying.
Yeah, yeah,
And I had a similar kind of feeling. We were in Iceland 2 weeks driving, and like it's just, yeah, there's people on the roads, but not as many as you would think, except for like Reykjavik, and that's like such a small city. So most of the time we were driving, like there's one instance where I was stuck behind a like another tourist who was just driving quite slow and in an
hmm
area that didn't make sense to be going that slow. I could like feel myself getting like frustrated and angry, and like I was like, well, I'm not in a hurry. Like I just like pulled the car over, we looked at the view for a while, let the guy go on.
hmm
And then, but yeah, external frustration I think
yeah,
is worse than internal frustration for me.
yeah. It came after, so it was. We were driving from New Hampshire, like southern New Hampshire to western Maryland. And we're on highways that I would have expected to not be so overrun with trucks.
Mm,
And I had this really, really weird experience in New Hampshire. And I'm sorry to all of the people of New Hampshire. This is just my honest, this is what I felt while I was in New Hampshire. And it's weird because I thought I was going to love New Hampshire. We fell in love with Vermont. There's something special about Vermont. And these two states are like mirror images of each other on the map.
mm,
I didn't realize how much they were mirror images of each other, like almost like the shadow side of. I didn't, and so in New Hampshire, the it felt post-apocalyptic. Like I was riding my bike on mountain bike trails, and they were just like there was nobody on them.
mm,
They were completely empty. And they also felt like no one was loving them. There was just like debris
mm,
all over the trails, just like downed trees all over the trails. Nobody was going and caring for them. There was moss growing on the rocks that mountain bikers would be hitting these rocks in such a way that there couldn't be any moss on them. So they were just like these post-apocalyptic trails. And then on the greenways, you'd occasionally see someone out jogging, walking, exercising, and they were overweight like every time.
really?
It was like overweight, young overweight person, young, 25-year-old overweight person on the trail.
Mm,
No judgment. I'm not trying. I don't want to judge anybody for their body shape and size. It's just like it was enough that I noticed it. I was like, wow, it's weird. Like,
mm.
why? It's I don't know. Okay, so desolate trails, occasional overweight person. Um, where is everybody? I got a text. I was in the middle of a desolate mountain bike trail alone, feeling kind of scared because I don't. It was one of these mountain bike trails that couldn't tell if I was going onto private property or not.
Mm.
I was like, I don't think I'm on private property. Like these are listed on all trails, and I don't think I crossed over a sign. Um,
That is one of those areas where you might get shot for it. So
It is, and the weird, and see, the
yeah,
thing is in Vermont, it's like not, it's the
right,
opposite. Like, it's
right,
like right to roam in Vermont. And so got really comfortable with the idea of, oh, I'm accidentally on your private property. Sorry. It's
yeah.
like, oh, no problem. Just as long as you're respectful to our land, or I'd prefer you don't hunt here. Oh, thank you. That was like the Vermont feel.
I prefer you don't hunt here.
you know, yeah.
Not prohibiting it. I would just prefer if you didn't.
Yeah, and then in New Hampshire, I was like kind of getting nervous.
Mm.
I get a text from Abby, and she's like, I am at the largest grocery store I've ever seen in my life, and it is packed. I had it's a text plus conversation later, and what is weird, the roads, there was like traffic everywhere. We're like constantly in traffic. It's like, okay, there was no traffic in Vermont. Now, granted, I'm speaking of like the whole entire state. It's not
Yeah,
really
sure.
fair, like we drove through the White Mountains and they were just absolutely gorgeous. We weren't staying up there. We were down near Keene in a place called
Mhm.
Swansea. So, it's whatever region of New Hampshire we were in, but it was just like traffic everywhere, as opposed to in Vermont there was like never traffic. Like the only time you might get slowed down on a road felt like because there was a piece of farm equipment being driven by, like a teenager
Yeah.
on the road, or there was a group of children on bicycles on the road, and it's like everybody's slowing down. Um, but there was just traffic everywhere.
Mm.
And it's like, where are all the people? Because everywhere I'm going is just like feels empty.
Mm.
And then Abby's like, this grocery store, the parking lot had letters and numbers like an airport, and the aisles were like double the width of aisles in a normal grocery store. And it wasn't like a Costco or it was like a grocery store. I didn't go, so I don't know what it was. But she was like, it was packed. Like, I had to take a picture of the letter and number that I parked at because it was packed. And I was like, well, that's where all the people are going, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't find a farm stand anywhere. You couldn't find just like the exact opposite of of Vermont. And I had been saying, like, cynically in the past, hey, if you like traffic, order from Amazon. You know, like, hey, if you like driving on the highway surrounded
Mm.
by giant trucks, shop at a big box store. You know, like, but this was like once we left there and I was surrounded by all these trucks, like after having been in this weird post-apocalyptic Vermont called New Hampshire, surrounded by all these trucks, I was like, if you like obesity, shop big box. It was terrible. This is authentic. We'll put this on the show because that's. I'm not trying to judge anybody that's overweight. I myself struggle with weight. Um, I just think that, like, it was a variable that was different. It was a variable that was
Mm.
different. And then I did a little bit of research. I was like, hey, I'm like asking Claude, you know, um, I admit I use AI.
Officially, let it be stated for
I'm
the record.
tortured about it. I'm tortured over it. Um, I am tortured over it. But, it's like the best search tool. I'm not going to use microfiche to go figure
I don't
out.
even know. I don't even know what that is. Is that an AI?
No. Do you not know what microfiche is?
No,
Really?
I really
Oh
don't.
my god. So when I was a kid and we had to do like research for a report, um, you get to the library, like I had to walk to ride a bicycle to the library, and then in
Mhm.
the library didn't have enough room to store like all of the issues of the New York Times that have ever been published
Right.
since the beginning of time. So they had film, like they had these rolls. This thing was the fucking worst. They were rolls of film
Okay.
that you put in this machine called the microfiche. You like loaded it in,
Okay.
and there was a big viewer, but then there was
Yeah.
like a dial to make it like.
I used that as a kid. I didn't know what it was called, but like we had one. Nobody ever used it. Right. But I
Yeah.
remember being shown right around the time we learned the Dewey Decimal System. I remember being shown that this machine existed and how to use it.
Yes, yes, that would be when you learned it, when you learn about the Dewey
Yeah.
Decimal System and the microfiche. Yeah,
And it was
so
loud, right? There was like
it
a
was
big
yeah, it was
fan.
like bah, 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 bah,
Yeah.
bah, bah,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
like had to
Yeah.
scroll, and then you could like
Yeah.
zoom in and like zoom out, and you could never find anything. Um, yeah, so anyway,
Microfiche
I'm
and
not gonna
flawed.
I'm not gonna like do my research with microfiche, and it seems silly to use Google right now when there's AI to ask research questions. So I just did a little bit of research, which
Hmm.
was, hey, has anybody done any studies on a correlation between obesity and big box stores? And it was like, yes, I can't remember the exact stats, but they were statistically significant. It was like if you just add a big box store to within the proximity of a place, it's just statistically significantly more obese people. And I'm like, wow, okay, so they really are bad for your health. Um,
Well, it makes sense. Like, just thinking about like the experience of living in Europe, one of the hardest things to get used to, especially when we first moved, because it started changing now. One of the hardest things to get used to was that there weren't big box stores here.
mm,
There was
mm,
exactly one. It only sold tech stuff. And like you couldn't, like, you still can't buy toilet paper in bulk. You can't buy food in bulk. Like you have to, it's almost like the size of the stores and what's available requires you to go shopping multiple times a week
mm-hmm,
for groceries.
mm-hmm,
And it was always incredible to me because, like, especially last year, I spent so much time in Miami. And like getting groceries was like one shop for a 2 week period.
mm-hmm.
Nothing goes bad, right? Like that bread can sit on that, the sliced bread can sit on the counter for 2 weeks and it's not a problem.
Yeah,
Here, I bought a baguette yesterday and it's already going stale
yeah.
and it was fresh. Like it's just, there's not preservatives and stuff. There's not, and so everybody buys in smaller quantities, which I
Mm-hmm,
think is, there's three parts to that. One, quality is better, right? You're
mm-hmm,
not getting a bunch of chemicals in your food. Two, physically, you have to go get it. And so, like, there's some exercise involved in that. Like, you're
mm-hmm,
not going to drive around the center of Prague to go grocery shopping. You're just going to walk.
mm-hmm,
And then three, like, you can't really overeat. I mean, you can, but like, you can't physically carry enough home to overeat to the level that like tends to happen, for example, in places in the US where it is common to like do bulk shopping, like
yeah. Wow,
Costco shopping versus like a normal food shop.
that's fascinating. I've I've thought about the chemicals and in order to stock up a big box store, the stuff has to be preserved in a way to travel in trucks for
Right.
miles and miles and miles. It's got to be able to
Right.
sit on shelf for long periods of time. So I've thought about the chemical part of it, and I've thought about the exercise, just the daily living and walking. But I had not thought about the idea that you can have so much freaking food in your house that you literally can overeat. Wow, yeah.
I mean, you
It's
can, right? You're
yeah,
buying a, let's say,
sure.
granola bar, innocuous enough, even though like they're processed, right? But like you're buying 20 or 30 of them at a place like Costco. Here you get a pack of four.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can buy 2 packs, 3 packs, of course, but like who does
yeah.
that? Why would you? Right?
Well, then you got to carry it home,
And
you
you got to carry it home.
it's like yeah, it's the carrying part of it too. And
Yeah.
then yeah, and then I was on this I I climbed this tower, this fire tower. I was on a hike in so where we were in New Hampshire was close enough that we could drive over the border to
Mm.
Vermont, and we're like let's just go spend a little bit more time in Vermont. And like, is this an illusion? So I the whole entire time I came up with this illusions of convenience, which
Hmm.
I'm just my Twitter feed is blown up with me posting illusions hashtag illusions of convenience. But it's like, was this all an illusion? Like what happens if we go over the border back into Vermont? Like, is this feeling real? We go back. We headed over towards a place called Brattleboro, which was an awesome little town.
Yeah, I've been there.
Uh,
It's really cute.
yeah.
There's I believe there's a film festival there. I used to go to.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was this really, really cool diner, um, which it's like an old Worcester dining car company from Worcester, Massachusetts, and now I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was like being in a chef's table like TV show. It was absolutely incredible. And while we were out that way, we went on a little hike at some, you know, state park that was close by. And of course, there was people out. People looked healthy. Everybody looks healthy in Vermont. It's like, yeah,
Mm.
people like the young people look healthy. Everybody looks healthy. At the top of this hike was a fire tower. I climbed to the top of the fire tower. I walk through the top of the fire tower, and there was like a local guide, like an older guy, probably my age, with like long, like gray hair, like super hippie, wearing like a rope necklace.
Mm.
And he had two young, like a young couple or a young brother and a sister, a young boy and a girl. I mean, young, like 20 maybe.
Young people.
Young people from Iceland.
Yeah. Oh, you really never see them in the wild.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
because why would you travel when you live there? But
yeah. It was like I just like emerge up in this thing, and I don't know that they're up there. I mean, I'm like climbing up a fire tower, and
mhm.
as I pop through, he goes, like this guy, he's considering moving to Vermont.
Well,
And
if
I'm
that's
like,
not a sign.
and I'm like, yeah, like
Actually.
I was like, actually, yeah, I just, I spent some time in the Northeast Kingdom and we fell in love. And he's like, oh yeah, it's great. And then I'm like, yeah, we're staying over in New Hampshire. He's like, oh, you know what they say about New Hampshire? It's the mirror image of Vermont, and it is in every way. And I'm like, oh my god, like if I'm not looking for a sign, and then he like he starts talking about like how the decisions that the two states have. He's like going on this whole thing, and he's like, look at these two, look at these two specimens from Iceland. This is what you look like. They're like the two most gorgeous people that you've ever seen in your entire life. Like the two fittest human beings on the planet were standing on the top of this fire tower. But then he says,
That's because there are no grocery stores in Iceland, so you actually just need to forage and hunt your food.
yeah, and then you're super healthy. he's like yeah, and the strain it has on the healthcare system. So
Mm.
of course the next day I'm back in New Hampshire, and I'm back on one of these post-apocalyptic. Side note, I've been writing and I've realized I really don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to the terms apocalyptic and post-apocalyptic.
Is it during and after?
Yeah, but
I guess what do we define as apocalypse, right? Doesn't that signal
yeah.
the at the end of something anyway? So
Apocalypse now, or post-apocalyptic. It's just like in the
mm.
moment it's like apocalyptic, but it also felt post-apocalyptic, so I didn't know which one it was. But I guess it felt more apocalyptic because I was in this on this these mountain bike trails, which were completely desolate again, but all I could hear was the helicopter coming and going
Mm.
to the hospital that wasn't too far away.
Mhm.
So that felt apocalyptic, not post-apocalyptic. Um, and I'm like, yeah, hey, if you like, having a strained healthcare system, like most people would agree that the healthcare in the United States is broken. There's not, like they're overworking. All of the healthcare providers are overworked, underpaid. They're strained. They're being sent to work in parts of the hospital that, that's not their unit. People are having a hard time scheduling appointments, et cetera, et cetera. Like, hey, if you like a broken healthcare system, shop at big box stores. Like, this was when I was stuck in this traffic jam on my way from New Hampshire to Western Maryland. This is what I was like, I was like, fuck you, big box stores. Hey, everybody. Like, hey, people. Hey, hey, fellow Americans. if you if
Drag the soapbox squeaks over.
if you like if you like a broken healthcare system, by all means shop at a chain. Go to a chain restaurant. Go eat Dunkin' Donuts. Oh my gosh, I just was like, I can't do it anymore. I was like, I can't. Abby's like, this is gonna be hard, Andrew. Like, I don't know that I could. This is what you're saying is she picked up. She honestly picked a bad time to be like, hey, you might want to think about that decision. It's like, I'm just fucking mad right now.
Get that?
I don't want to think about the consequences of never eating at Dunkin' Donuts ever again. Um, we got caught behind a Dunkin' Donuts. I'm just like, there's all these like images in my mind where we were in Vermont and I walked into this little coffee shop and they had these homemade Italian donuts that are filled with Bavarian cream.
Mm.
And it's like, I can't find those Italian donuts anywhere. there was like in the counter there was like six of them because that's probably how many they could make. And I went back the next day and they didn't have them, and then I went back a couple of days later and they had one. Um, and then I got caught behind a Dunkin' Donuts truck, and I'm like, fuck the Dunkin' Donuts truck. If you can find this Italian donut in the middle of a one stoplight town in Vermont, like that, oh my god. So this is what's on my mind after being gone for 11 weeks. It's part of what's on my mind.
Hold on, I gotta tack onto that because if you like Vermont's vibe, you should definitely go to Iceland. It's like it's a paradise for this exact, just like hidden gems everywhere. There's a cafe we found completely by accident. It's across the street from a pretty epic waterfall that's on private property. So you can walk up to see the waterfall, but you can't park in front of it. So we had to park across the street in front of it. Looked like a parking lot, but there really wasn't much going on. There's fields all around you. So we get out of the car, we go across the street, it starts hailing because Iceland. And so we're like running back to the car, and Kathy's like, this is a cafe. They have like a little, one of those sidewalk sign things. So we pop in there. The cutest place I've ever seen. Two floors, everything's like lushly cut, these like really ornate rugs everywhere. It looks like you've walked into like a communal grandmother's house where like every corner is designed differently by somebody different, but like it somehow all works. And there's a woman in the kitchen, the grandmother, who comes out and she's like, "Oh," and she's like, "We don't have anything prepared, but I can prepare something for you. What would you like?"
Oh my god.
Like, what is this place? And then we had the absolute best breakfast we've ever had. Like homemade bread with like smoked salmon, like hot smoked salmon on it. There was just like she made a plate of eggs. She made some bacon from the farm across the street. She made us coffee and like she's like, "Oh, I don't have oat milk," and I was like, "No, I can't drink milk." And she was like, "No, no, that's okay." And she was like, "No, just wait a second." And she like calls this boy over and sends him to go get oat milk somewhere. And he comes back like 20 minutes later with oat milk, and she's like, "Okay." Like what? Like what? It's not on Google Maps. It's just like right now it's just a pin on my Google Maps so that we can find it again. Because like there's no name to it. There's no like it's just this random private waterfall and a cafe across the street surrounded by farms. Like
Amazing.
yeah, just incredible. So like you should, move to Vermont if you want to move to Vermont. However, you should go holiday in Iceland because it is pretty epic. And I'm not joking. There's like whole, 100, 200 kilometer stretches of the country where there's just not grocery stores or gas stations anywhere. So like
Hmm.
you're kind of on your own.
Hmm. I would have to. I would have to convince. In both cases, I think I'd have to convince my son to move with us and Abby's family. I think that's to me that was the biggest tension. I mean, we when we crossed the border into North Carolina, the first thing I did was call my son, and I was like, we're back. You want to grab, you want to go out to Gussie's tonight? It's like a dive bar in Raleigh, and so we met we met up last night. I think that's the thing that I've been struggling with the most is like this was fucking great. I loved it. I could probably move. I don't know that I can be away from family for that long. It's
Yeah.
that part was really really hard for me.
Mm. Yeah, that's something I have trouble with. I know my family's so tight knit, but like I'm so isolated because like
Yeah.
yeah we talk, but like I'm never there.
Yeah.
Like so many moments happen, and it's like I'm there what once a year for
Yeah.
like a super quick visit. Last year was interesting because again I was in Miami for so long. Like I saw my cousins regularly. Like we like hung out, we went out to dinner, we had barbecues at the house. Like it's just
Hmm.
really nice. And then like I haven't been back since it's gonna be a year basically because I just needed a break from everything.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's just kind of like lots of has happened. Like my cousin had a baby I haven't met. Like, like there's a whole nother human in my family that I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
hard to be away. It's hard to be isolated, to be far.
Hmm. Yeah, it's deep too, as a kid growing up, I had these dreams of like the family all being together. I had these dreams of like some kind of a compound where all of the families lived close enough together that you could go visit each other, and there was in my dreams as a child there was like these underground tunnels that would connect the homes so that if it was like really really bad weather you could tunnel to the other homes and visit. um, and then pretty recently I've gotten into this like explore your greatest fears, and I've written about them. Like there's the and flip it to say I love you. It's like one of my
Hmm.
greatest fears is forgetting, and I wrote this I love you forgetting, or dear forget. It's called Dear Forgetting I Love You. Um, it's like dear fill in the blank fear, or dear fill in the blank hate. I love you, and practice that. It's like a mantra that I've been practicing, and one of the ones that I uncovered like in this self discovery was fear of abandonment. And it's like apparently, according to the psychologists, um, you end up you end up like repeating the behaviors that of the things that you fear the most.
Hmm.
And there's like some deep-seated childhood thing happened. I'm like, this is just too good to be true. Like yeah, my mom had a terrible health incident happen shortly after I was born, and I was sent off to like live with my grandma, you know. So that's where the fear of abandonment came from. And then I've, miraculously lived it out my entire life. I've like had the greatest girlfriend ever in high school, and then just managed to just fuck the whole thing up so badly that, she hates me and thinks I'm the devil. Um, I'm estranged from my daughter. You can't make it up. You just can't make it up. Um, and and it's like, but I'm the one that left New Jersey, where my whole entire family is, where all of
Hmm.
my cousins. I got on my motorcycle and I left and I went to North Carolina, and it's like so romantic. Abby and I are like, we love Vermont. Oh my God, it's beautiful. Like, oh, we can imagine moving up here. And I'm like, and I'm gonna do this again. Like, I'm gonna leave my my son and our family. Your parents and sister and brother-in-law and nieces, and we have all this family here. Like, is a beautiful, healthy place to live more important than
Hmm.
than the family? And wow, what attention that is! Holy shit! Like, talk about attention. It's like, yeah,
It's almost like preempting, what you conceive of to be the biggest disaster possible. If you do it, they can't do it to you, kind of situation.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely one of the protective mechanisms, right? Um, yeah, and there's so much there's like if you start to look into the, the I love you, um, or dear fear, dear hate, I love you, what it ends up doing is it ends up uncovering why you love it, right? So
Mm.
it's like dear abandonment, I love you. Why do I love you so much? Because I'm self-reliant. I get so much positive reinforcement in my life to be able to be like, I don't need anybody's help to survive.
Mm.
I'm independent. I can survive on my own. Like that's, and I can prove it to myself over and over again. So, go ahead, go abandon me, because if you abandon me, it just
Mm.
gives me this positive reinforcement of like, see, you abandoned me, and I'm still better for it. I'm the worst abandonments can ever happen to me in my life, and I'm still doing
Mm.
just great, right? That's why I love you, abandonment. And if you don't, and then to your point, and if you don't abandon me, I'll just go do it myself.
I'll show you. I'll show me. Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like there's gotta be something like to that. I often think like, when I first told my dad I was leaving the country, he was really confused. He was like, why would you do that? And it never felt like it was still, I mean, it's been 12 years I've been living abroad. Like it doesn't feel like I was leaving anything.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it felt like I wanted to experience something else,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it was a moving toward, not away.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like if we really dig psychologically, like what, of course, moving towards something also involves moving away from something else. So what is that? What is that that I was moving away from? I don't know. Now I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
have like an identity crisis over here. It's like what
You're gonna be like,
what am I afraid of?
Kathy, we're
Like,
moving back to Florida.
no,
No.
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It would be Boston, Colorado, anywhere but anywhere but Florida.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I respect it because I'm from there, but no way. Miami's fun for visits, not to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about like the convenience trap. Like everything is easy, everything's available, everything is just like excess, constant excess. Like you want to go out to dinner, you have 800 options within a 10-mile radius. Where do you want to go? Like
Mm-hmm.
you want to go to a bar, there are seven on this corner. Which one? Like which one do
Mm-hmm.
you want to go to? Each one of them has like two different floors, so you can decide the vibe you want. It's just constant choice.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's, well, like, again in Iceland, just because it's fresh in my mind. Like we wanted to go out to dinner, and like we were looking for dinner places, and like the only place we could find that was open was 2 hours back from the direction we'd come. We were like, okay, so we're making camping meals. Like, we had some like, ready-made meals just to heat up. We have a little gas stove. So we're like, all right, that's what we're doing for dinner then. Because
Yeah.
we're not driving 2 hours backwards, yeah, to just to eat. So it's like the choice is easy when you don't have one. Right?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I love the
But
phrase "the convenience trap." Yeah. It is. It does feel like a trap. Mm.
I also fall into it though. I mean, this would be a good whole line game. This idea of I've been writing them down as we've gone.
Cool.
But this idea of like convenience versus struggle.
Mm.
It's like I think this is something Kathy and I argue about all the time. Is like she she thinks I chase convenience too much. Like
Mm,
for example, like I'm a reader. I read constantly. I go through at least a couple books a week. But I stopped buying physical books because I just don't have the space.
mhm.
And I like to read at night and I don't want to have the lights on. So I read off a Kindle. And like, she's like, but you're missing the point of the book. You're missing like the physical experience of holding it, turning the pages and all this. And I'm like, yeah, but it's easy.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, in that case, like it is convenient. Like if I don't feel like cooking, I'll order food to be delivered or suggest we go out somewhere. And it's like, yeah, it's convenient. I like convenience
Yeah.
in some things, like in like the day-to-day things. There's other things that I make harder, like writing. I write everything out by hand and then I type it rather than just typing because my brain thinks better, right, when I'm writing.
Yeah.
That's not convenient. I get really frustrated when I don't have my notebook with me and like an idea comes to me. So I've just started carrying them around. Um, so it's like, and in a 30-liter travel backpack, carrying this thing around. It's really not necessary. This is heavy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I gotta have it. I can't not have it.
Yeah. Let's play. Let's play
Okay.
convenience versus struggle. Ooh, I'm writing on my.
My other one, which may be for another day.
Ooh.
I mean, I had several, but the two I liked was convenience and struggle, and independence and isolation,
Mm.
which are kind of two sides of the same. Two sides of the same.
Yeah. Both are great. Let's play convenience and struggle. Convenience is just like a word that's been
Sure.
on my mind a lot over the past. And struggle also. Both have been on my mind a lot. So I think it's timely. How am I going to use, what side am I going to play this game on? I'm drawn to starting on this side.
Mhm.
Um,
So what do you think of when you think of convenience? What's the good side?
what? Yeah, what's the good side? Um, well, the first thing I feel like is like a word that jumps up to me when I think about the good side of convenience. I think about fortunate. Like
Mm,
it just feels like I th- the example that I think about is we have a Peloton in the house, a stationary bike, and whenever I broke my ribs, I could rehab by jumping on this stationary bike. I felt really, really fortunate to have it. Um, so convenience just feels super, super fortunate. All the ways, like what happened back in the day when you couldn't keep food cold, and then the icebox came, and then the refrigerator came. Like those things are conveniences, but they're so fortunate to have. Um, it's hard for me to say save time because that's where I think I've been using this illusion of convenience, and so I've already talked myself out of convenience being a time saver. I guess it can be maybe it so. There is no doubt in my mind that I healed faster by having that bike in the house. Right? Like, there's no way I could have
yeah.
recovered as quickly. Um, so can save time, and that's maybe
One of the words I wrote down related to that is not, I wrote fast as well, but I crossed it out and replaced it with efficient. Because I think that's what you're talking about here. That's what it is to me. It's like having the bike in the house is efficient. It's not just fast. It's like, well, it's convenient. But it's like if you need to, get some movement in to help aid recovery, having it next to you is a lot more efficient than, okay, like, get in the car, walk down the street, go to a gym, go outside for a walk, go take the bike out. Like all of those things take preparation, they take work, they take time.
yeah. I just think it. I just think it can be efficient. Again, like it's. I feel like to me, it's a similar situation where the you know does having which is more efficient, having a dishwasher or not having a dishwasher, right? Like which is more efficient?
Mhm.
And I felt like we when we lived in the Airstream, we became masters of efficiency. We've optimized for these enamel plates that just like nothing sticks to them, and they you
Mhm.
just like rinse water over them and they're just clean almost instantly. We only have four of them. There's only two of us. We could have some guests over to the Airstream and host a meal
Exactly too.
a meal for
Yeah.
four. You know, um, yeah, no more than two people over at any given time. It's it's almost like not having that convenience made us masters of efficiency when it
Ooh.
comes
Mhm.
to cleaning the dishes, whereas the convenience may be efficient sometimes. That's why I have to have like a can be efficient.
Got it. Yeah.
And it is a good,
That's a
I
good
mean,
example. Yeah.
in in the spirit of the game, right? Like a good side of convenience is saving time and it is efficiency because it does do it sometimes.
Right.
What else is good about convenience? There's got to be more to it than
I have
fortunate.
a I have one which is accessibility.
Hmm.
Like I always say that I like living in cities because I know if it's 3 in the morning and I'm hungry and there's no food in the house, I know I can find food somewhere.
Yeah.
Living in cities is more convenient, right? Like everything is there.
Yeah.
It comes with its own, dark sides, but like this idea of accessibility and ease. Like again, my Kindle, this thing weighs nothing, packs down. I take this everywhere. It comes with me. If I'm going to a cafe, it comes with me on every trip. It comes with me around the house. I always have a book at hand.
Yeah.
I like that.
Wow.
It's accessible.
Yeah.
If my eyes are tired, I can zoom in. If I'm feeling fine, I make it smaller so I can, flip pages less. Like it's
Yeah.
then we're getting into like the design definition of accessibility, but that's like, can everybody use it given the conditions that they need? Right. And that's, yeah, accessibility for me. Convenience means having what I want or need when I want or need it
Yeah.
without compromising or with minimal compromise.
Yeah.
Minimal.
That's blowing my mind. That word. Uh, I'm like I feel like I'm really screwing up the game right now. I'm playing it poorly because
There's no bad way of
there's no
playing it.
bad
It's a
way
whole
to play
mind
the
game.
game. There's no bad way to play. I'm playing it as a contrarian, which apparently I am. Apparently, people have told me that I'm. I agree. No, no,
No. Like, do you want me to be
no,
surprised? No.
no. I can't imagine anybody saying that you're a contrarian, Andrew. I no, I agree. Accessibility is a great word for convenience, and what's really, really interesting to me is that one of the um, one of the shadow sides that I see of convenience is that is a lifelong dependency on
Ooh.
things, and accessibility is needed. Here's like a real world example from I'm in biomedical engineering, and I work with people that it's like innovating new medical technologies. So when it comes to something like this is a real company that I'm working with, and he'll be excited to listen to the show. Researcher from Boston University, and what they've got is this technology to independently walk after having had a stroke.
Mhm.
And there's there's what I call in things like stroke recovery, and there's this happens in a lot of places in medicine that I'm seeing, as far as what do I think the future of healthcare is going to be, is that the past was, I call it brace. The present is what I call assist, and the future is what I call challenge. And you don't it's the better way to say it is the past is brace, the present is brace then assist, the future is brace then assist then challenge. You need we have an injury, an accident happens, maybe that accident is a stroke, and that accident minimizes our ability to utilize our ankles in a way that we can't walk anymore. So we need to put a brace on it so that when we swing our legs, our toes don't slam into the ground.
Mhm.
Um, but there's newer products that are the assistive devices, which these might be exoskeletons or FES. It's like electrode stimulation where it actually shocks your
Yeah. Or
muscles.
like causes your muscle to contract so that it brings it into the right position.
Yep, right. So there's braces that assist you, and as you swing, it like fires the
Mhm.
muscle, so the foot actually lifts. And the benefit of this is like your muscles actually getting a little bit stronger here.
Mhm.
Um, However, these assistive devices lead to a lifelong assistance.
Yeah.
And what they're working on is something that goes a step further. It challenges you to move beyond the assistance, and you have to do what's beyond what you're capable of to get back to what you can do normally. I don't know. It's I think athletes kind of get this thing where they're going to challenge themselves at a level that's more difficult than what the race actually is, right? They're gonna like run it in lower oxygen levels, or they're gonna run it with like weights on themselves, or they're gonna make
Right.
it extra hard so that on race day
It's easy.
it's easier. And
Yeah, we used to do that in swimming. We would wear like two or three suits, no swim cap, not shave anything. And then on race day, you take everything away and you're like way more streamlined.
yeah, so you make it harder.
Hmm.
And I think for everyday living, it's like working out at weights and speeds and activities that are beyond what you would face during a regular typical day. So when you're grabbing groceries off of the shelf at the big box store, the giant pack of 20 cans of Prego. Um,
You are Italian, so that makes sense. That's your first preference.
what I'm gonna
That's
hate
not
on.
what I'm buying 20 cans of, but all right.
Yeah, and me neither. I think it's banned from the family. I think
Yes, tomatoes only.
yeah, my grandfather did a Prego commercial when he was a young father, and apparently came home and was like, "We shall never have Prego in this house." So, but
Nice.
you exercise beyond what you're going to see during daily life, because you don't want what you're doing in daily life to be the cause of an injury. So like
Right.
your daily living should be easier than what you push yourself to. And so the same is true for any sort of injury. And and the thing to be careful about, right, is that not every stroke is a stroke, right? Like every stroke is different, and there's some strokes that are like people are never going to walk ever again.
Mm.
At least not with the technology that we have now. However, there are a huge number of people that have lifelong assistive devices that they
Hmm.
could, if challenged, walk out of and not need anymore. And right now, there really is no product. These innovators at Boston University and Harvard working together are coming up with an actual device that will help move people through this phase of brace assist
Okay.
challenge. It is possible without the thing, but you would have to be very wealthy and have like a physical trainer right next to you
Right.
every single day pushing you through this stuff. Um, I know this is a really long-winded thing. It's like the word convenience being a good thing is accessibility is true. Agreed. And the shadow side of that is a lifelong need for assistance,
Hmm.
which requires things to be accessible, right? Like someone who has fully recovered can walk up the stairs, and we've designed the building to be accessible so that
Hmm.
people in wheelchairs can get up, and that's great. And I'm all for accessible design. All for accessible design. However, always choosing the accessible path and always living in a world of assistance is there's a shadow to it. Man, that was long-winded.
So the word that brought up for me is atrophy.
Atrophy.
So the shadow side of convenience is atrophy.
Boom. You just killed it right
Yeah.
there.
The you know, if you don't use it, you lose it. Use it or you lose it. There you go. That's the expression. Yeah, like
Yeah,
that
use it
kind
or
of
lose it.
like
Yeah.
um yeah, I think that's a good point. I think about like what does that mean? Okay, so like in my city example, right? I can get food at 3 a.m. That's efficient, that's accessible. I like that. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
Um Now I'm dependent on being in a city, right? In Iceland that day where the restaurants were closed, there were no shops nearby. Like if Kathy hadn't thought to bring ready-made meals just in case, we would not have eaten,
Mm-hmm.
or I would have been eating granola that night, or like
Mm-hmm.
whatever else we had in the car with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm not used to not having options.
Mm-hmm.
I think my default, like I always have snacks with me, but like not dinner. I don't carry around dinner with me, yeah, just in case. But she goes on so many like long hikes and this, like she knows to bring a full meal,
Mm.
at
Yeah.
least one. Um, so that's like, yeah, this idea like, it's not a skill. feeding myself is not a skill I really need because I always have things around me that I can use to feed myself. But um, knowing to watch out for that. I also wrote down for the negative temper tantrums, which is more like a psychological, reaction. But like if I'm hungry and I'm getting cranky because of it, right? Like we're entering hanger territory.
Yeah.
And there's nothing around, like that's more frustrating because I'm used to the convenience. And so like convenience can lead to this kind of like overblown reaction to not having the thing.
Mm. Wow, that's layered because it's not the bad side of convenience. It's the bad side that convenience has led to conve-
Psychologically. Yeah.
psychological. It's put you in a position to miss it,
Right.
and then have the temper tantrum. Yeah. Wow.
So helplessness maybe also kind of comes out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Helplessness. Right. Yeah. If Kathy didn't have that meal, you might have been helpless.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty
And think
sure I had a
about
cinnamon roll in the car, but that's not dinner.
Well, think about how helpless people would be if the conveniences of life disappeared, right? Like if
Mhm.
and what are the conveniences of life? It's like air conditioning and your refrigerator and electricity and like these are all modern conveniences. Um, the internet, AI. If they all went away, a lot of people would be a lot of people would be helpless.
Well, I'm looking up something because I've got two examples of this.
What's interesting is
It's 30 degrees Celsius. What is that in Fahrenheit? I'm really
oh,
bad at this conversion. 86. It's 86. It's been
86.
86 for a week. It's gonna be 86 for the next 10 days, according to
And that
the
feels hot. That should
forecast.
be hot for Prague, I would
We
think.
don't have air conditioning.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Nobody does. Some shops do, but like it is not a common thing to have in the house.
I
So
think it's
like,
an illusion anyway. The air conditioning, if we could have no air
oh
conditioning,
man, oh man, like, it's so hot. These buildings are made for winters, for long cold winters.
that's the
So they
thing.
trap
Yeah.
heat. It
Yeah.
is 32 degrees inside our flat. It's 30 outside, but we can't cool it down because the heat won't leave.
Because they're made for winters. Yeah, they're made
Right.
for I have this like if architecture if we had all the intelligence that we currently have, all the modern wisdom that we have, and designed a city to have no conditioned air, like
Yeah.
no conditioned heat and no conditioned cooling, could we do it? And I'm like, I bet we can. I bet there's ways to design buildings with shades and breezes
In
and
China,
pull
they
down the
have, I
black
don't,
shade when you want
yeah.
heat in, pull down the white shade when you want the heat out.
Actually, I was talking to a student yesterday, and he was telling me that like everybody's hot. It's been hot. We're all cranky over here.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me that he found a solution because we're lucky. Our flat gets light in the early morning and then not again. Like we
Uh-huh.
we have indirect light all day, but where it's not direct sun. But he gets direct sunlight straight in through all the windows in his flat. So he went out and bought, what do you call this thing for the cars?
Oh yeah,
The silver
those.
thing to like reflect light,
Mm-hmm.
sunshade,
Yeah.
windshield shade. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he bought like eight of those, sewed them together, and has put them in all of his windows, outside of the window, so that it doesn't trap the heat inside to reflect it out. And he was like, it dropped by like 8 degrees inside our flat,
Yeah.
um, which was just like, that's genius. Like it's not
It's
convenient, but
it's
it was
it
effective.
it would be convenient if homes were designed that way, and that's brilliant. So this is like things like shades inside the house
Hmm.
trap the heat inside the house, right? And
Hmm.
so like just as far as architectural design consideration, you could have two sets of like little shutters or shades. One that's
Mhm.
outside that's white and reflective, and one that's inside that's dark and absorbing. And in the wintertime, you let all the light in and you capture as much into the dark shade as possible. And in the summer, when it's super hot, you reflect it off the outside one. It's just that I think that I put I had a tweet the other day that's like, I think conditioned air is a root of all evil. Like it's causing it is it is um it's like a it's the cause camouflaged as the solution,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is
It's
like,
getting warmer because we're using these things, but we're using these things because it's getting warmer.
yeah, it is like one of the biggest culprits of global
Yeah.
warming is the
Yeah.
use of conditioned air.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and it is so inefficient, right? Like it might seem convenient, but I think this is where I'm using the illusions of convenience. And I had this really visceral reaction. Um, so I have these itch attacks, and I haven't had an itch attack. Like my whole body just starts to tingle,
Hmm.
and it's like I'm on fire,
Really.
and I haven't had one in a pretty long time. Um, and I remember getting them as a kid, like a little kid. I would be out playing at my grandparents' house, and I'd get this like my whole body's like on fire, and I would run in, and they had this AC unit that was in a window, and I would stand in front of it, and like it was like one of the only things that would
Hmm.
calm the itch attack down. So I'd like associated with the AC is the thing that makes me feel better. And somewhere like I grew up, I was in college, and I just started to have this like conditioned air is the devil. There's something wrong with it. Like I had this just like I didn't have logic for it at all. It was
Yeah.
just a feeling, which went directly against my experience as a kid, but it was just a feeling I had. And I've been thinking about air conditioning because of the whole illusions of convenience rampage that I've been going on over the past 11 weeks. And when we rolled into Western Maryland, it was just it was over the top humid. There was this weird, it was like it wanted
Mm.
to rain so badly, but it wasn't raining.
Yeah.
And it
It
was
was too
just
hot to
like,
rain. Yeah.
it was just
Yeah.
so humid. And
Yeah. Massachusetts can get real like humid. Boston is a little better because you're right next to the water, but Western Mass is, yeah, hot, sticky hot in the
sticky
summer.
hot. Yeah.
Mm.
We had like barely used the AC for the whole trip. Like we're in an Airstream, we're in the mountains, we're in beautiful places, we're
Mm.
in Vermont, we're in Maine. We barely used the AC the whole time. The few times that we did use it, we had our windows open anyway, so it was like a mix. It would like, just like take
Yeah.
the edge off kind of a thing.
Mm.
Well, it was so bad, we shut the whole thing down and we cooled it off, and we had like a full night's sleep in the AC. The next morning, I went outside. We were getting ready to go on a bike ride, and all of a sudden, my body just starts flaring up in these
Mm.
in this itch. And then Abby was like, "I think I got a migraine coming on," and I was like, it was easy to go, it is so humid out here, like this, it is so humid out
Yeah.
here, and blame it on the humidity. And I was like, I think the AC, we had the AC on all night last night.
Mm,
Like it I think that the AC was the cause of the itching, the cause of the dry skin,
yeah.
the cause of the dehydrate. It'll dehydrate you.
Hmm.
It'll it'll dry your skin out. Dehydration can lead to a headache.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
why she had a migraine is way more complex than AC alone. But for me, it just triggered that these two things were happening at the same time, and then I just started. This was like the epitome of this illusions of convenience when the thing
Hmm.
itself is propping itself up as the solution, but it is actually the cause.
Yeah.
And that reaction of like, no, but we have to have it here. My mind always goes to, but we can design better. Like we can design cities
Hmm.
to not need it. I believe
Yeah.
it. Like I just believe that the human race is smart enough to design cities that in super hot places that actually don't need AC because we can move air and we can use shade in ways that I think are that people are just here we go, lazy. It finally jumped out a word. Convenience is lazy. It's like it's easier to design a
Mm,
building with a nice HVAC system.
right.
It's lazy.
It doesn't matter what shape it is and what
Doesn't matter
the
what shape it
materials
is.
are. And
And it
I'm
could
going to
be an
bring this
up.
full circle
Yeah.
before we go too far away, which is that big box stores, your Costco's and your Sam's Clubs are the thing causing the obesity and the unhealthiness and the kind of frustration and lack of care in open spaces. Because we have it, it's convenient to have it. We can do all our shopping, we can buy in bulk and never run out of things, but at what cost?
At what cost?
But
Yeah.
sorry, just a little, because that
It
felt
is.
like
It's a
it came full circle there.
it's a total circle, and they can literally be a big box, a big ugly box, because it's being kept
No, it's more
cool.
efficient,
It's being
right?
kept cool with conditioned air. It's less efficient.
Well, boxes fit more because you can put stuff in the corners. Can't curve those
Yes.
edges.
Oh, it's efficient. It's efficient to fit more. It's efficient to build easily, but it's
Yeah,
the least efficient thing for our environment.
but that's not the concern.
That's not the concern. Man, we
Yeah,
need to move.
lazy is a good. Lazy is a good. I mean, yeah, I feel like we could talk about this all day. Lazy is a good word there. Yeah, I think I like that better than yeah. A lack of flexibility too, but that goes along with like helplessness and atrophy. It's kind of like I can't adjust from my routine because my routine I've designed it to be so convenient. In China, they have this is sounds unconnected, but it is. In China, there's this ancient like building design, which is to have I think they call them sky wells in translation, but it's basically like in Spain, it's common to like the center courtyard of a building is designed to allow heat to escape. Right, heat rises, and so it's coming up through the center of the building, and then the Chinese took it a step further and always install a water feature at the very dead center of the open skywell,
Hmm.
because that cools the air as it's rising away, and so you're getting kind of like a conditioning effect of the air,
Mm-hmm.
just through the natural like shape of the building. So Spain borrowed that. That's common in Latin America, especially in like the really hot, like near the equator areas.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very common to have like this in Africa as well, like center courtyards, India, like
Mm-hmm.
all of these hot places have this. This is already part of the design.
Mm-hmm. And it's
We're not
beautiful
doing it
too.
citywide, and we're perhaps giving that up in favor of more efficient buildings that not efficient in the sense of cooling, but efficient in the sense of fitting more.
Yeah. We could take efficient and just play a whole mind game with that one word.
Hmm. Hmm.
Holy shit. Yeah. I think I wrote it down, lack of flexibility. It has its own, what the difference between like atrophy and helplessness and lazy, the lack of flexibility, what it screams to me is sort of the flywheel effect, or the
Hmm.
downward spiral of like, the more flexible you are, if if you're just living the conditions, and it's hot days, cold days, it's humid days, it's not so humid days, and your body just has to deal with all of this.
Hmm.
It's like we become more flexible. We can just handle more
Right.
conditions, and the more we have this convenience, the less flexible we become. But then that makes us more reliant on it. It's like this. It's just this cycle of of losing that flexibility leads to the loss of more flexibility, and just like ends
Right.
up creating this incredibly rigid, you know I can't be, like, the whole, like, we know these
Hmm.
people that can't get the perfect like, if it's 1 degree too hot or 1 degree too cold, they're uncomfortable, right? And it's like you have just dialed yourself to,
Yeah.
like,
A
the
comfortable 72. Like, yeah.
yeah, like, absolutely no flexibility, is as rigid
Hmm.
as you can get, and rigidity is not good for being healthy. Flexibility is good for being healthy. um,
The
wow.
rigidity as well.
Oh yeah, rigidity, lack of flexibility, rigidity. Boom. All
Did
right.
we even try to tackle struggle?
We haven't even started on struggle. We haven't even started on struggle. It's insane, and I've got the time if you've got the time to go into
Sure. I
struggle.
can I can go a little longer. I have an idea. Why don't we take a minute, write down our own list?
Okay, yeah, we'll speed run struggle.
Yeah.
Let's speed run struggle. Okay. Um, I like this. And share. I think I got mine.
Yeah, I got mine too. I think I could go on for a while, but
Yeah, same. And if we
I got mine
talk,
too.
we'll go on for hours.
So I don't know if it was that we're talking about convenience and this idea, but like the one that jumped out to me first, the last word we came up with for like the negative of convenience was rigidity. Like for me, like the plus side, the good side of struggle is adaptability.
Mm,
It's
yeah.
having, you know, I think of like again, Iceland is like heavy on like foraging. When we go to restaurants there, like the ingredients they're using to cook are almost always things they foraged the day before.
Mm-hmm.
So the mushrooms, the herbs, the plants, like everything is literally from the ground around wherever you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
And so one thing I noticed was like the menus were really just like versatile. Like there's so many different things. And so many things that like I had never tried. Just because that's what they happened to find that day.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the kind of like I'm not a huge seafood person, right? But like Kathy loves it. So we go to a restaurant that like specializes in seafood. I'm scanning the menu for like other options.
Mm-hmm.
And like I'm used to there being other options, but there are a couple cases where there just weren't. Yeah, and I had to figure it out. So like, there's first off the versatility and the fact that the menu has been, forced to become something, whatever is available. But then like as a patron, my side of it was like I was also forced to become adaptable and flexible and kind of like not, you know, it wasn't what I expected, but like I found the way through.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah. I think the other big one for me was resilience. Yeah. Struggle builds resilience. The the worse your trauma, the stronger you end up. Like, you
Yeah.
sometimes, not always, but sometimes I think the
Mm-hmm.
bright side of struggle is, building a tougher skin.
Yeah. Build. Yeah. I had build strength.
Mm.
Similar. It feels like it builds. Builds is kind of a word that popped up because I was like, it builds intelligence. Like it built. I learn through struggle.
Mhm.
I feel like I grow through struggle. And it's hard to imagine anything growing without it.
That adversity.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, a tree growing, it's like it's like it's a struggle, right? I don't know. It's the um, butterfly coming out of a cocoon or whatever. It's like it's transforming. It's there's a struggle involved in this. Um,
Do
I
you
also
know
put
about trees
yeah.
that like the root system, when you see like one of these big, like the big redwoods, for example,
Mm-hmm.
like the root system is the same size as the bough of the tree.
Mm,
It has to be to give it stability, because if not, the thing would fall over. Right. And so
mm-hmm.
like there's just as much of the tree underground as there is above ground.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be balanced or maybe even overcompensate if it's like a windy area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Kathy went to Greenland and did like this like 10-day trek. And when she got back, one of her like biggest observations was that all the trees in Greenland were sideways. Like all the trees, the ones that would had managed to grow were like growing almost horizontal to the ground because it was so windy. And that
Yeah.
like, but they were still there, right? Which means
Yeah.
their root system was like heavy, like thick, yeah, plentiful.
Yeah, and anchored in a way. I mean, the root system must have grown in a way
Mm,
to anchor that ability to be at that angle. So anchored, I wrote down. There's so much. There's
keep
a whole
going.
bunch of words that came out of that, like stability, balanced,
Mm.
anchored. Um,
I have also appreciation.
ooh,
I
yeah.
think I think we don't really understand what it is to be good, to be happy, to be healthy, to be okay, to be safe if we have not experienced the opposite.
100%. Yeah, appreciation. I put it's similar or different. I put feel it.
Hmm.
Like you just, it's like you know what happened. You can feel it.
That's interesting. I have that as the dark side,
Ooh.
the dark side, the negative, right? This idea of like always the dark side of negative being the negative side of struggle being a constantly existing in survival mode,
Hmm.
constantly feeling threat or feeling attack or feeling instability.
Hmm.
And you're kind of like Iceland was beautiful. It was an incredible trip. I did no writing, and that's weird for me. But it was
Mm.
because I was in survival mode the whole time.
Mm.
Like I was, in a new place in an area I didn't know. We never made a decision about which way to go. We just got in the car and started driving. And so like there was no like I was constantly recalibrating and recalculating and like trying to, my brain wants order and there was no order. So it's like realize you're hungry at the end of the day again and like there's no restaurant nearby and you're like, well shit. So it was like constant survival mode and like it was fun. It was an experience. I would do it again. I'd go tomorrow, right? But like it was constant survival mode. It was constant discomfort
Mm.
in a
Discomfort.
fun discomfort for fun.
Discomfort for fun. So I put fun on the good side.
Hmm.
I don't think anything that's fun. I always think about the cheat code, which is why whenever I see anybody with like a cheat code for life or life
Hmm.
hack, I'm like,
Hmm.
for whatever reason, they always rub me wrong, and I just always think about the video games I played as a kid. As soon as I got the cheat code, it became boring. It was like, well, game
Yep.
ruined. It's boring now. Like the struggle was what made the game fun, and as soon as I got the cheat code, it was boring. So to me, a struggle is fun. Um, it can be very it's discomfort. It's uncomfortable
Yeah.
sometimes, right?
Let's put
Uh,
that on the t-shirt. Discomfort. It's
yeah,
uncomfortable.
discomfort. It's not comfortable. Yeah, exactly.
um,
Oh, man.
yeah, but I agree. Like there's I mean it's boring if everything's easy all the time. And
Yeah.
I don't believe in boredom. I think that's a cop out phrase for
E-
complicated psychological state. But like, um,
Mhm.
it's not stimulating when everything is easy.
Right. Yeah, and that's maybe the bad side of easy, not as opposed to struggle.
Well, I just put overstimulated as the downside of struggle.
Yeah, I like that.
Right? Like just constantly like yeah, just constantly on edge. Which is kind of what I meant with like, survival mode.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
mm,
They have different tones to them. Like survival mode sounds like it's almost like a Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I just can't really focus on anything other than
yeah,
my basic needs.
surviving.
Whereas
Exactly. Yeah.
overstimulated can be um, I think about getting a tattoo. Do you have any tattoos?
No, and it's because of this. Because I don't like, I'm like real queasy about needles.
Like I've got a super high pain tolerance, and you
Mm,
could probably stab me with a knife or like jab me with a needle, and I'll be fine. But it's just something about the sitting there for four
let's not test
hours.
that.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. Let's not test that. Um, Sitting there for 4 hours, like there's a certain point where it goes it goes from the good to the bad. It goes from I
Hmm.
can feel it. Like when I first started getting the tattoo, it's like, oh, I can feel it happening, and by the end of the tattoo, I'm like, I'm overstimulated. Like I need to
Yeah.
this needs to stop. Um, and it just
Yeah.
doesn't. It just doesn't stop. And there's where, for the bad side, I put down loss of hope.
Mm,
I think that sometimes if the struggle just doesn't end, if
right.
there can be this like. That's why the tree is so fascinating to me because the tree is in the wind and it's just not stopping
Hmm.
and it's just grown sideways. But I think if I was on a bike ride and I'm in a headwind,
Hmm.
there will be a point where I'm like, okay,
Fuck
I'm done.
this. Yeah, fuck this.
I'm not riding anymore. I'm done. I'm
Yeah,
done with this bike ride.
yeah, yeah. That that's an interesting thing. Like Kathy and I've learned in the last couple years that like we seek different things. Like so for like we'll go hiking together, but like I reach a point where I'm like overstimulated by the environment and I need out. Like so I
Hmm.
like an exit strategy. Like I don't mind hiking for 8 hours, but I'm not gonna hike for 8 hours on rocks that are wet, like going up and down hills constantly. Like it's just not fun. Like I don't get the point.
Hmm.
She thrives in that environment. And it's
Mm.
like it's a real mismatch. And it's just so interesting because like things that I find fascinating, like, like linguistic deep dives and like rabbit holes that I end up in. They're just like sitting down and writing for hours. Like
Hmm.
she can't do. Like she just
Mm.
can't. Like it's just not exciting for her. So like there's there's like different levels of stimulation that we require, like
Mm.
mentally, physically, but like it's a big difference. So like some people thrive in struggle.
Yeah.
Like some people come alive when like they're faced with things, but like I don't know, like there's a limit. I think for me at least, there's a limit
Hmm.
to like how much struggle. And I'm a problem solver. I'm like, if you complain to me about something, I'm gonna try to find a solution. And I have to
Hmm.
consciously turn off that mechanism and like just listen to whatever's going on, right?
Yeah.
And but it's because like I seek convenience, right? Like I seek easy and efficient and clean and available and accessible. And so
Hmm.
like my brain's like, oh, we're struggling. Like find let's find a way out of this. Let's find an easier situation.
Hmm.
Um, not to say I can't have fun in it, but
Yeah.
yeah, you reach that point, that overstimulation point where you just like cannot.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. So I think it's maybe important for this conversation that I think that there's a huge difference between facing challenging things with ease, like finding the easy way.
Mm,
It's I wrote a little bit about this terminology. It like hit me one day. This whole like take the easy way out. They took the easy way out. That phrase. I was like, wait a second. If you take the easy way out, you have removed the easy way as an option.
mhm,
And removing the easy way as an option, there's only like two ways. Well, there's more than two ways, but there's two major ways to take the easy way out. One way is to do it the hardest fucking way. Climb the mountain straight up the fucking mountain is not taking the easy way out.
mhm.
Another way that doesn't take the easy way out is to just not do it. I didn't climb the mountain. I didn't take the easy way out. It's like finding the easy way in, put the easy way in
Mhm.
is like make switchbacks, and it is much
Right.
easier to go up the mountain on switchbacks. But here it's like I let the easy way in. I faced the challenge with ease. And so I have struggled with easy and ease and this word,
Mhm.
and like seeking convenience. Like I see someone when I look at you, I don't see someone who seeks the bad side of convenience. I see someone who is trying to figure out how to face the difficult thing with the most ease. And I don't think there's any like prize. Well, maybe there is a prize. There's prizes for getting to the top of the mountain as fast as possible,
Mm,
right? There's like some people that climb straight up to the mountain and then they get a prize. They get put in the book of records of I climbed to the mountain to the top. So
yeah.
maybe there is a prize. Um,
Yeah, I don't think this appeals to me. I'm like, good for you. I'm
yeah,
I'm
good.
happy
Yeah,
for you.
I'll take the easy way
Like
in.
I just don't have any like marathon runners. Like I mean, I'm not a runner. If I were, I'm not even sure that I would want to do a marathon. Like it's cool to do that, but must we chase medals and things? Like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, there's a Kathy's brother-in-law is marathon runner, and so like we traveled with him, her sister and their friends because they were doing like Berlin Marathon last year. And I was talking to them, and I was like, "Help me understand here. Like, why are we running marathon? Like, what's in it? Like, what's the drive here?"
Hmm.
And all of them were like, "Well, like we're trying to accomplish this group of marathons." And I was like, "And then what?" And they were all like, "I don't know." I was
Yeah.
just like, "What? Like, what's the?" Guys, you're telling me some like truly insane stories of like shitting yourself in the middle of a marathon, like, passing out, being hospitalized, like, because you're overtraining. And I ask you why. And all you can say is, "Oh, I don't know. There's this list of marathons and we're trying to complete it."
Wow.
Like, what?
I hope there's a deeper thing, like, because I did this hard thing, I can do I'm the kind of a person that can do hard thing. I did this hard thing. Um I do shit like that. I'm the kind of person that does like the tough mutters and
Yeah. Yeah.
like just go get your ass absolutely kicked on a 13-mile run plus 20 obstacles and like it completely covered with mud. And if you ask me, like, Andrew, why in the hell would you do something like that? It's like, I have so many reasons. First of all, I think it's fucking fun. I feel like a kid playing an army
Sure.
game. Crawling through mud is just fun. As if I was a child, I think I would like it. I like it. I'm just still a child, apparently. But it's also
This
like,
makes more sense to me though. Like these like, the Ninja Warrior and Tough
yeah,
Mudder, like this makes sense to me. Like
yeah,
this is a challenge. Like
yeah,
it's not just can you run far.
yeah,
Like it's can you run far while climbing things, crawling through things.
yeah.
Like
I would just hope that the answer, like, I've never run a marathon, but I mean, the idea of I've run a couple of 5Ks, 8Ks,
sure.
or whatever,
Yeah.
and there is something about like, can I make my body as efficient
Mm,
as possible? Can I be like
mm,
relaxed through this thing? This is mental. It's more mental than it is physical. Like, at
yeah.
some point in the run, it becomes more about mental toughness than physical toughness. And I think that there's something about that kind of mental toughness. It's inspirational. And then when you see the people that do it, like when you watch it on the Olympics, it's like
Sure.
there's some sort of hope that they give you, right? Like when you see a human being cross a
Yeah.
finish line with a smile on their face, it's like, holy shit, like what the amount of mental toughness that took to be able to do that
Absolutely.
is fascinating, which is really different though than just checking the boxes. This is
Yeah. That's I agree with you on that. Like that's a beautiful I get that. Like
mhm.
to prove to myself that I can is a full sentence to me. That's
Yes,
fine. Like I
yeah,
get that.
yeah,
Yeah, because I can is a good reason.
yeah,
Because there's this list, is it? Or I don't know. I don't want to mischaracterize this. Like
yeah,
I
yeah,
have a lot
yeah.
of respect for people who can do
Right,
this. I
same.
cannot. I'm just confused of what the motivation is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same. Same. You know what? This is something that we experienced on the trip. Was there was this clear distinction in our minds. I'm saying our. I don't know that Abby agrees with 100% of what I'm saying, so it's really me. I'll just say me.
Well, this is your show, so.
Yeah, this observation, but there was an observation that like there was different kinds of people. There was like check the box people, and
Mhm.
there was immerse themselves in the environment people, right? And it's like that we were in this part of the Finger Lakes where there was all of these wineries. We were there for a month. We went to like 4 or 5 wineries, fell in love with one of them in particular, made friends with one of the guys that works there. Now have wine being shipped to our house, shipped wine to all of our families from this one place. Made a really meaningful connection at this winery. And, we're sitting listening to people being like, yeah, we went to 10 yesterday and we got 7 planned for today. And if we can get in the other like 10 tomorrow, we'll have hit them all. And it's like, can you even remember?
Mm-hmm.
Can you even remember which ones you went to? And there's like, can we check off all the state parks? Can we check off all the states? Can we check off all the things? And it's like, now granted, I know this is clearly a grayscale, right? Like there's a guy that I know that tried to hit every single major league baseball park with, his family and his son or whatever, and they kept a list and checked them all off. If it's like it's a means to family time, to
Right.
experience cities you've never experienced for,
To making these memories.
to
Yeah.
making these memories. It's just that there's definitely like a sort of a check the box culture of like, what are you doing this for? It's like, oh, I'm just checking off all these states or all these
Mm-hmm.
places or all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the why, if the why is the check the box, um, that feels shallow to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree that it's a spectrum of things, right? It's not, if you are checking boxes, that does not mean that's your only motivation. And
Yeah.
so there's an intersection of people that very likely have multiple reasons for doing these things. And like, again, like not to take anything away from them, but like I have the same problem with people. I live in Europe, people come to visit,
Hmm.
and there's two types of people that come to visit. Friends, family, and also like we get a lot of like, oh, my cousin's gonna be there, can you show them around one day? Or like, a friend of a friend is gonna be there, can I give them your number? And I always ask upfront, what kind of tourist are you? Right? Because there's the type that want to see all the sites. They want to see everything that's listed in every like top 10 things to do in Prague. And then there's the people who just want to go there. And
Hmm.
I am the second type.
Yeah.
I just like, I avoid museums. I avoid,
Hmm.
if there's a bunch of tourists there, I'm walking the other way.
Hmm.
And I just like, I do not understand why people like travel around Europe, right? Where like every major city has, some monuments and some key sites. But people will just walk up to it, see it, take a photo, and then leave.
Hmm.
I'm like, why? Do you care?
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple things that like there's some places that I like to go. For example, there's this town in Croatia on the coast, Zadar, and they have this really cool staircase right on the water. And it was constructed in such a way that depending on the tides and the way the waves are coming in, it plays a different song, and it sounds like it's so cool. But like, yeah, that's the number one thing on the list in this tiny little city in Croatia. But like, I go there because it's beautiful,
Hmm.
like that's a beautiful experience. I'll sit there for hours, like just listening to like, the changing of the tide. Um, but like to go see the stairs, check it off the list and walk away without like actually taking the time to like experience it, like, come on.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Yeah, and I can imagine you in that scenario also enjoying the people watching, which is like
Oh yeah.
watching the people
Yeah.
who are coming and taking the photo
Hmm.
and leaving. Yeah, really, really fascinating. Abby and I are like on the very, very, very much the same page where the museum not really interested, the tourist trap not really interested, um, but want to go like where does a local go eat?
Hmm.
Where do
Yeah.
they where a home cooked meal in someone's home?
Yeah.
I guess that's a home cooked meal would be in someone's home.
You can also get home cooked meals in restaurants, though. I think
Yeah.
there's a type of restaurant where like
Yeah.
there is somebody's grandmother is in the back making that food, and you
Yeah.
can taste it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We had that. There's a little diner. Um, I think it's called Tony's Diner in the Finger Lakes, right next to where we were staying. You just walk to it, and it's like Tony's in there. She's a little old lady. She's like standing behind the
Hmm.
counter, and her husband,
Nice.
partner, person is in the kitchen, and you order breakfast, and it is home cooked breakfast. I mean, they make it right there from like
That's cool.
they crack open the farm fresh eggs and everything.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we got to get to the synergy. Did we
Oh,
do we?
right. I'm like 2 pages past this in my notes over here now. Okay.
What is the best of the best of convenience and struggle? Let's read the. I want to read the words. Can I read them out loud? What we wrote.
Sure. Sure.
And I'm going to show if you're watching. This is the brand new stationery
Oh, nice.
that Stephanie designed, and this is how I chose to use it. I've used two different pens, so it works with two different pens. Um, Also, I did a couple of things like it's not really super apparent, but I double underlined the things that you said,
Uh-huh.
and I single underlined things, which I only see one, but I tried to single underline something that we both did together.
Hmm.
And then the ones that are not underlined are what I wrote on my own. Um, so, convenience and struggle, we got fortunate, can save time, can be efficient, accessibility, build strength, learn, grow, feel it, fun, anchored, adaptability, resilience, stability, balanced, appreciation. Holy shit, that's a lot of words. Um, yeah, I'll read them backwards because apparently I've been doing that. Appreciation, stability, balanced, resilience, adaptability, anchored, feel it, fun, grow, learn, build strength, accessibility, can be efficient, can save time, and fortunate. What does that word salad boil down to?
Mm. I think okay, so the one that's sticking the strongest for me is resilient. But, but resilient what? Resilient adaptability. These are kind of on the same side for me, right? These are both on the plus side of struggle.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, wait, that's not really mixing.
When
Resilient.
you said resilience, but where were you going? Where were you gonna go? Were you gonna
I
go
was gonna
on
say resilient stability.
resilient
And I don't know if
stability?
that's one of the ones you wrote down. It's one of the ones I had for convenience. So stability is like,
Uh,
you know it's there if you need it. Right. Like,
I have both of those. I have resilience and stability both on the good part of the struggle side.
hmm.
So when I look at the convenience side, what's jumping out to me is the resilience and the fortunate. And I'm trying to think like when I think
Yeah, that's
if I use the stationary bike as I can make the stationary bike be the synergy, and I can make the
hmm.
stationary bike be the shadow.
Hmm.
And it's like it's the shadow when I rely on it so much I lose my balance. I can't even ride a regular bike anymore because I've lost my
Right,
balance.
right.
But when I can be fortunate to have it in my home and help me be resilient from a rib injury, um, that feels so fortunate. So like that fortunate resilience is that
Fortunate resilience. It's resilience that you are aware of.
yeah.
It's the you know you're resilient because you've gone through something. Like the convenience is like choosing, the fortune is choosing, yeah, something that's easier because you can.
Yeah, fortunate resilience. Yeah, it's almost got
But I
this
think you
feel.
wouldn't feel that sense of being fortunate if, struggle hadn't also been a thing.
Yeah, like yeah, if I and there's maybe this gratitude to the fortunate too. Like I can take okay, I can the struggle is to climb this mountain. Fortunately, someone already put in switchbacks.
Uh-huh.
Like I'm a resilient human being who's able to climb this mountain or cycle up this mountain, which takes resilience. And I feel fortunate to be able to do it. I have gratitude for the people that have made it possible. Gratitude for the people that designed this awesome stationary bike that I'm fortunate to have. Fortunate
Yeah,
resilience.
I think that's really interesting. Like convenience stays a positive when you know why you're choosing it and what the alternative is. When you keep that sense of fortunate, feeling fortunate for it, right?
Yeah.
Like going to the store and buying the 20 jars of Prego because that's what we always do, right? At the end of the month or the beginning of the month or whatever it is. Like that's fine. Yeah, that's the habitual side of it, right? But like what are you doing that for? Do you like Prego? Like have you ever tried to make a red sauce without Prego? Like, right? Do you know what do you know the struggle you're replacing with this? And like, is that worthwhile to you? Um,
Yeah. Do you know the struggle you're missing? Yeah. Do you know the struggle you're missing? Wow. And even, holy shit, like, I don't know why that just brought up to this, like, I've been heartbroken and so I'm not going to date anymore.
mm,
Um, it's like, go out and date, fall in love. Do you know the struggle that you're missing is so, or like have kids. So,
yeah.
some people don't ever want to have kids. Some people can't have kids. Um, so to those people that don't have kids and want to have kids, it's like there is this. Gosh, it's such a biased thing. I guess I gotta say it out loud. There's like grandparents that want their kids to have kids, and they're like, please have kids, and it's like, but I'm not. But
Right.
there's this feeling that parents have, and I can't help that I have it. It's this like you just don't know the struggle that you're missing.
Yeah.
It's so worth
Yeah.
it. It's a fortunate having children is fortunate resilience. Having cats and dogs is a fortunate resilience. They bring so much joy. The pet is a pain in the fucking ass that takes up time and money. They're probably going to pass away before we do, and it's going to be heartbreaking. But there's this fortunate resilience to having a pet, to having a child, to adopting, to all these really, really difficult things that people choose to do and sometimes not choose. And there's a lot of times we don't choose it. Um,
Yeah.
wow. I love this fucking game. no, no idea. No fucking idea that convenience and struggle would end up in fortunate resilience.
Mm.
I've been thinking about these two words for a fucking month, 3 months,
Yeah.
and and I didn't get fortunate resilience until playing it with you right now. So fucking
Yeah.
cool. Oh man. And
So what's the shadow? This is this is like the game being played by two people who have never done this before. We've done this so many times.
God, we suck at this game.
But
No, this is how it's
no,
this is
no,
how
but
it's
like
played.
this is exactly like to me, this is the ideal of it,
This
right?
is
It's
the
like a
idea.
conversation that gets away from you.
Mhm.
This is you can't stop coming up with words. So, like, something in my eye. You can take me off camera for this
Okay.
part.
Agreed. This is these conversations are the awesomest. Wow, what is the shadow side of convenience? So the bad of both sides. We said atrophy, helplessness, lazy, lack of flexibility, rigidity, painful, loss of hope, survival mode, discomfort, uncomfortable, overstimulated.
Mm.
I'll go backwards. Overstimulated, uncomfortable, discomfort, survival mode, loss of hope, painful, rigidity, lack of flexibility, lazy, helplessness, atrophy.
There's one you didn't
What about this
write, which
one?
I think is because I didn't say it. I didn't say it, but it was skittishness. I think
Skittishness.
that deserves to be in here.
Which side that was
So I
on? The
was
struggle side?
yeah. I was thinking of like my one of my cats was feral, right? When we got him, and he didn't trust humans, didn't like humans,
Mm.
couldn't make eye contact with humans, and like we had nothing but love. Like when we first fostered him, like we had nothing but love to give him. Like we were just offering him a safe space. But he was so afraid of us, like he couldn't relax, like he just didn't trust us, didn't trust his fortune, almost like didn't trust
Mm.
the situation. And it was through a lot of struggle, like months, like 6 months, where we couldn't make eye contact with him or touch him.
Mm-hmm.
um and then he's just slowly started coming out of his shell, and like now he flips upside down on our lap and like wants, to be touched all the time, and like if we don't pay attention to him he gets angry. But it's just like that skittishness at the beginning, like goes together with the survival mode. If you're always feeling insecure and unsafe, and like you have to fight something, then you get really skittish.
I
Like you
mean,
get really,
yeah, you added two new, like insecure and unsafe. Also go to the bad part of struggle. I thought about that, like having my heart broken.
mm,
I'm not gonna date anymore. Is that skittishness? It's like it goes with the loss of hope too. It's just like
yeah.
I don't want to get hurt again. I know this. I know this struggle. I don't want this struggle. I don't want it again.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
I don't want
That's
to do the struggle twice. So
yeah, I had this long rot relationship in my early 20s, that ended in her cheating on me like repeatedly. And it was so damaging that like the next few relationships I had, I just totally overcorrected and like refused to like feel anything emotional. Like I was just like performing relationship and never invested in it. And it just like took years to come out of that. And it was that like I was really skittish about it. Like I was like, I can't trust you. I can't like trust someone again. That hurt. Like,
yeah, I got mine. I got my shadow side.
yeah.
So skittishness and unsafe and insecure, like these new additions, which and take into account painful and loss of hope and survival mode, popped out afraid.
Ooh.
And then I just looked at lazy. I'm lazy and afraid.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Lazy and afraid is my shadow side. I'm just like,
I think for
it's
me,
just too easy to fucking keep the brace, keep the assistive
hmm
device on, and I'm afraid if I take it off, I'm gonna fall down again. And
by the way, the that brace assist challenge was really interesting. I wrote down a note back during that conversation, which was like this mimics the education system, or like the ideal of the education system,
mm,
right? Where you're bracing, you're teaching like core skills, and you're assisting people and kind of figuring that out for themselves, and then at the highest levels, challenging people to go beyond what exists already.
yeah, shit, I've never thought of it
Um,
that way.
yeah, there's a story in there somewhere, but I just threw that into like the margins of this note. So I think for me, the shadow side, there's two. And I think so rigidity stays the same. That to me is the word that's really standing out as the negative of convenience.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't decide if my first word there in the phrase is overstimulated or insecure. They're doing two different things. Right. So like overstimulated rigidity is like feels like exasperation to me. Like it feels like, when someone is like overwhelmed and like manic almost, right? And like things have to be a certain way or everything is wrong. Like that. That's one of those to use the parlance of the youth. That gives me the ick. Like when somebody's like flying off the handle because things aren't as expected. Um, but then there's this like insecure rigidity, which is I think the core of it and where it comes from. And it's
Uh-huh.
like insecurity as not being able to estimate or anticipate what something is going to be. And so we become really rigid and really stuck
Mm-hmm.
and in our little rut of a way, because stepping out of that feels uncomfy, right? It feels dangerous in some way, kind of like again unsafe. So
Yeah.
I think insecure is the stronger. Overstimulated though really stands out to me. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a very easy trap of struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a very easy to fall into trap.
What I what's cool about it? What's cool? I'm using that word on purpose. What's cool about it? Oh
Talking
man,
about air conditioning. No.
talking. Yeah, exactly. What's cool about it is that the conditioned air example I think fits both overstimulated and insecure rigidity. There's like this.
Mhm.
Okay, so this conditioned air is like a security blanket. Like this conditioned air gives me extreme security, and I am rigid to it. And if it just changes a temperature, I'm no longer in my security blanket, and it's way overstimulating. It's too fucking hot. It's too cold. I'm
Yeah.
overstimulated. I can't take it. Right. So it's weirdly the insecure, overstimulated rigidity like together
Mhm.
feels like the shadow side of conditioned air. Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's like we have to have the windows closed because the air conditioning is on.
yeah.
Like, yeah. Well, yeah. Even the balance of like we turn it off at night or we change the temperature at night or like, turn it down at night. Like that like is also a form of rigidity. That's
Hmm.
like, it's scheduled.
It's
Like it's
scheduled. Yeah. Gotta have the nest thermostat. It's
mhm,
scheduled. It's
mhm,
secure. It's very secure when it's all scheduled, and I know what I'm gonna
right.
get. It's a highly secure feeling. Windows closed.
Hmm. Cocooned.
cocooned in there, and gosh, God forbid there's any stimulation from temperature.
Yeah. Yep. But you've got to become that butterfly, break out of the cocoon, embrace the struggle.
Yeah. Look, there's what an incredible innovation. There are people that are in a terribly hot place
Mm,
that are elderly, and if we can just get them some air conditioning, it could save their lives.
yeah.
Right. So I want to, for all these things, I think for every single thing, for every convenience, I think that there's an opportunity for fortunate resilience and for overstimulated, insecure rigidity. Um, it's like it's that discernment. I think it's that knowing. Hey, am I choosing this convenience?
Mm,
And I feel really fortunate, and this is makes sense to do today. And gosh, even the ready to eat meal that Kathy brought as a convenience because somebody came up with ready to eat meals, which
mhm.
is awfully, awfully nice. And, you didn't have to go like hunt with a bow and arrow to, and cook your meal over a steak on a, fire that you made with a flint stone. Like,
So that would be a cool skill to have, and I'm
that
not
would be
opposed to it.
that would be a cool skill to have. I wrote down this. I've been like on this like I gotta admit I've got to admit that I'm weirdly enjoying Twitter is becoming one of my favorite places to write because it forces me to get the words to really short,
Mm,
and you get immediate like feedback from an
yeah.
audience, and as a writer it's like kind of an interesting place.
Mhm.
um, but I had this thought pop in my head yesterday while we were driving home from our this trip, and I voice memoed it, and then I tweeted it this morning, but it was something to the effect of fuck you money. I put fu money um, is no longer the key to independence. um, if you rely on big systems, you're not free. And it kind of like I think to the spoils will go to people that know how to weld, people that know how to farm,
Mm,
people that can
yeah.
know how to raise chickens and know how to raise rabbits and kill a rabbit and make it into their dinner, people that know how to like work on a diesel engine. Because when all of these conveniences disappear, if and when they all disappear, being able to hunt and catch your food and cook it over a fire is going to be way more independent than all of your cryptocurrency that currently doesn't exist anymore because
Yeah.
the power's out.
Yeah.
You know.
This happened the last bike ride. I was with Kathy and her. There was a problem. Her wheel was like off a little bit, and it was hitting the brake pads. And like, it was one of those moments where it was like, I have the means to take this to a bike shop, but also I have the knowledge of how to fix this. And so like, I was able to just do it there in the middle of the path. It wasn't a trail.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it was just like, it was one of those feelings where I was like, this is resilience.
Yes.
Like I fixed this bicycle. But it was just this moment of like utter independence. And I was like, I don't need a shop. Like I am a shop. Like that's
Yeah, I love that. That is awesome. I think it's a
like if your
perfect.
guitar string breaks, right? You know now how to change your strings.
Ooh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I haven't had one break on me yet, and
Oh,
when it does, I can't believe it hasn't happened yet.
I'm
Um,
surprised too. I mean, they shouldn't break on you, but just that you haven't felt the need to change them is great.
I want to like this is one of those things where like when it breaks, I need to go and do the brace assist challenge. I need to like sit down next to someone and have them like walk me through.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so cool. And we should probably wrap this up pretty soon, but I haven't played this electric guitar for 11 weeks. It was so out of tune when I got home that had I bought this on December 22nd, 2025, so 8 months ago.
Mm.
um, when I got home that night, I didn't know anything. Like I had never touched a guitar. I didn't know it was EADGBE. I didn't know that.
Eddie
uh,
Dynamite. Good boy, Eddie.
yeah, I like that. uh, I I had to watch like a video, to learn how to tune it.
Mhm.
Um, and it was already like basically in tune, so I was tuning something in
Nice.
tune.
Yeah.
And so uh, it was so far, it was like, I don't know if this is the right terminology. It was like over sharp. It was like the E was like
Hmm.
playing as an A,
Hmm.
and the or no, it wasn't. The E was playing as an F. The E was playing as an F. The A was playing as like an A sharp or something. Um, and when I saw, as soon as I played that E string and it played as an F, I immediately loosened the string. And I was like, this is so fucking cool because I've never had a guitar this far out of tune. I've never let them, I'm like anal retentive about tuning the guitar. So I like literally tune
Oh,
it
I
with
do
top.
every time I pick it up, I tune it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's necessary. I think maybe it's like, it's just,
It's good practice. I think it's good practice to do. You never know. Like temperature fluctuations can change
yeah.
the tuning.
It's basically always in tune though, right? I mean, like it's barely out of tune every time I pick it up. So I just thought to myself, wow, if they didn't tune the guitar for me at the guitar center and I got home, I'd have been screwed. I've been like watching the video and not knowing which way to go. I'd just be like, I'm lost.
Yeah.
I'm just completely lost. And it was so cool to have this guitar so far out of tune and kind of instantly get it into tune. Not instantly, I'm still slow in tuning it, but maybe it's also because I'm anal retentive. I try to get like, I got one of these whatever snark,
Yep.
super snark
Have the same.
thing.
Yep.
It's like if it shows just on either side barely, I'm like
Oh, that's
trying.
funny. I have like on my classical guitar, I purposely tune it a little bit over into the green
Mm.
because I like the way that sounds better than like dead center.
Oh,
So like
interesting.
you can also play with that. You can
Yeah.
also tune down. You can do DGB, whatever it is, like
I've always been
the
afraid to,
country folk tuning.
yeah, see, I've been afraid to take my guitar that far out of tune because
Mhm.
I'm lazy and afraid, and I'm too rigid to take my guitar out of tune.
I
So
was really scared the first time too.
I went through this
I think that's a normal feeling.
unknown struggle. I didn't know my
Hmm.
guitar was going to be so far out of, but now I feel like, oh, I could do this. I could take it. I could tune it down a full
Hmm.
um,
Octave.
12th. Would you take it down a 12th? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, from E, the first string from E to sixth string from E to A to D. So a full octave
a full
down.
octave. Okay, so a full octave. Um, and yeah, uh, holy cow,
I think the word that shook out of all of this for me and the one I wrote down as my final note here is discernment. And I think this
discernment.
falls into that category, right? Like you decide if that's something that feels, you know. Yeah, there's an opportunity for resilience to be built here by detuning it, untuning it, changing the tuning, right? 'Cause it's not out of tune, it's just a different tune.
Yeah.
But there's also like that comfort and stability and rigidity of like knowing that it is in tune already. So you can purposely put yourself through that struggle and try to find your way back. But that's your discernment has to make that choice. You have to decide if the risk is worth the benefit. The first time I did it, I was really scared. I had two guitars. I did it on the one that I never play.
Hmm.
Not never, but like the one I enjoy playing the least because I was like, oh, if I mess it up, like at least it's this one. Um, you should. I can walk you through changing your strings. There's also some great YouTube videos if you have somebody in person. That's also very helpful to like see somebody do it. It's really easy. Um, it's really easy on the acoustic. It's a little more complicated with the electric and classical, or is a pain in the ass. But
Hmm.
um,
Hmm.
it's a skill worth knowing for sure.
Struggles, things you can't get out of, guitars. Um, oh, and you had mentioned you like to have an um,
Yeah, I like the escape route. I like
escape
I like
route.
the I like to be able to push the button if I need to. So I can't stand like hikes where I can't get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a buddy, Heath is his name, and he's like likes to have an escape route, escape plan. And
Yep.
while we were on this trip where we were staying, our last stop in Western Maryland was right on the C&O.
Hmm.
It's like the old canal that has a tow path where like mules would pull the canals,
Yeah.
and the tow path has been turned into a bike trail. And then there's two trails actually, the C&O, which I think stands for Chesapeake and Ohio, I think, and then there's the Gap, which is the Greater Allegheny Passage. These might or might not be the correct things, but it's the C&O and the Gap. You can ride a bike from Washington D.C. to Pittsburgh,
Hmm.
and it's close to 400 miles. And so I'm like, I want to do this. I can take the train from Raleigh to DC. I've already done it because I've taken the train from Raleigh to DC, and I've ridden my bike to Bethesda, Maryland.
Right.
And you go on the C&O trail for just a touch. And we rode a little bit of the C&O while we were out there in Western Maryland. Um, and I sent a note to my buddy Heath, and I'm like, dude, we got to do this. Like, let's get together. Let's take the train up to DC. And he's like, I'm in. He texted me back like, I'm in. And and Abby brought it up. She's like, this is like really vulnerable for your friend to say yes to this, because like that's not
Mm.
exactly the easiest thing to like pull the plug and be like, fuck this, I'm done. Like, because we're just
Yeah.
gonna be on bikes somewhere between DC and Pittsburgh. I guess halfway through, you can hop on the train um, in where there's a town. I can't remember the name of the town, which is sucks because we went there and it was a cool town. It's escaping my mind right at the moment. But at any rate, right where the C&O ends and the Gap begins, there's a train. There's a train right there, so you could go halfway and say, "Now I'm
Mm.
out." Um, this has been awesome. Okay, we should. This is episode 50, which I've been stuck.
Somewhere in here is episode 50.
This is, yeah, this most of this will be episode 50. I'm going to cut as little of it as possible, maybe leave the whole thing. There's some gaps that maybe I'll trim out, but it's awesome. We featured a design for a thing. I don't know if this is the final yet, but it's pretty damn nice. Note card that I took my whole mind game on. And you unstuck me because we've been on episode 49 for quite some time, and I want to say there's
Hmm.
three or four more that have been recorded, and they're just sitting there
Yeah.
waiting to become episodes 51, 52, 53, and 54.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Oh man, I appreciate you.
50 episodes in, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling like Authbition is just way more than a podcast. Honestly, it's like I I I was like, oh my god, I'm totally falling down on the job of the podcast, and I was like, this is if this isn't Authbition, what the fuck? Like if I'm on an 11-week trip in an
Mhm.
Airstream, if this isn't Authbition, I don't know what is.
Mhm.
So I think that it's so much more than a podcast. I think it's going to be a publication. I like think that we're going to publish people's works in Authbition, the publication, and I think Kathy will be happy because I think that you'll be able to hold them in your hand. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I do think it's a movement. Um, and I feel so fortunate to be working with you on this endeavor because it would not be fun at all if I was doing it alone. Um,
I'm grateful too. I mean, this is exactly what I told you like at the beginning of the year. I was like, I only want to take on projects that like are meaningful in some way, that I feel strongly about, that like don't like I don't want to just keep doing something that like is at the end of the day does not matter. Yeah, beyond that moment. And I think this really fits that bill. So thank you for letting me participate.
yeah.
And we've got a lot more coming.